Hi, what you doing? Because for example, I am testing a new, at least new for me, 7-inch drone. Before we will go any further, I would like to thank all my Patreon and YouTube supporters for their backing. If you are not one of them, then please consider becoming one for as little as $2 a month. On top of that, do you know that I have a second YouTube channel with the slightly different type of the content? Go there, check it out. Maybe you will like what you see. And now, the new drone. I love 7-inch drones. Majority of my drones are the 7-inch machines because they are great at long range, they are great at cruising, and if you know what you are doing, you can also do amazing freestyle and flippity floppy with the 7-incher. Maybe not that much as racing, but for the freestyle is 100% great. So, when I got the opportunity to test the DarwinFPV Darwin129 provided to me by xt-xinte, I said, yes, please send me this thing. I would like to see how the current situation, or maybe not the current, but because this is not the newest model ever, but how, let's say, current situation on the 7-inchers look like. So, what is Darwin129? It's just another 7-incher built on the frame that's kind of similar to the one of my favorites, Alpha Monster 7-inch. So it's rather small center body with enough of the space for the 4-in-1 ESC flight controller and the VTX. You can probably also fit it with, for example, xt-x Vista, but this is not really designed for the digital. For the digital, rather choose something else. But for the analog, everything is fine. I got almost ready to fly. That means I only had to install the RX because the ESC, flight controller, VTX and the GPS, because yes, this thing comes with the GPS, which looks like kind of Beitian BN180, and you are ready to fly. There was at this moment when I had to really install the VTX, the RX on the Darwin120, I figured out that maybe the flight controller design is not the best one ever, because I really had to be quite creative or where to connect the RX if I don't want to use the ready-made plug, because I had no ready-made plug. And besides that, of course, the GPS is rather not the best one, because A, it has no magnetometer, so you cannot use it with enough to do, for example, landing. You just can rescue mode, go there, drop it, and you are more or less safe. And sometimes it takes really long to get the fix. So definitely the installed GPS is one of the weakest elements of the set. This is why I think that the Darwin, although kinda put on the market as the long-range drone, is not really a long-range drone, because for the long range I kinda would like to have the GPS that really works all the time, but for let's say a slightly more aggressive flippity floppy, going somewhere middle range, okay, then this is fine. But does it fly? And if it flies, does it fly really good? And I do have to say that, the original tune I saw on this thing was kind of like, really, what's happening? Why the P is so high? Why the I gains are so high? What's going with the D term? But when I got this thing into the air, I was I like how this thing is flying. Maybe it's not the perfect tune ever, because I do think that the 2507 motors from the set, which, by the way, two of them have counterclockwise thread. Why? This is 2021, we don't do that anymore. I think the motors are not maybe up to the torque levels I'm expecting, but still the prop wash was there, but it was not the greatest prop wash ever, and the set of the GameFan Flash 3-bladed 7042 was working with the Darwin125 just okay. And now, the conclusion. Can I recommend the Darwin to anyone who would like to try the 7-inch experience? Yes, as long as you are not really planning to go very far, where kind of the GPS performance is something like required. Because if you have the GPS rescue, I do really would like to have the fix, good solid fix, like 1 minute after powering up, and not have to wait for like 30 minutes for this eventually to get the fix. What it helps to disconnect the VTX, get the fix, and only then connect the VTX. But this is the problem with the majority of cheap, because Darwin129 definitely is a cheap drone and GPSs. Overall, want to try the 7-inch freestyle? Darwin is okay. Want to really go far? Maybe, I think I found the usage. Get yourself a cheap 7-incher, go far, lose it, and do not regret too much, because it was relatively cheap machine. Overall experience, I like it. Not long range as advertised. Having this thing with better GPS and, for example, iNav would probably be a slightly better opinion. But really, for the price, I don't think that you can even get motors, propellers, frame, flight controller, and the camera on the market. So overall, yeah. Overall, quite a good, but not what really advertised. I would like to one more time thank the xt-xinte for sending me the Darwin129. That's all for today. Until the next one. Bye bye.